McKinney Vento Homeless Project, NEISD 2025-2026. Overview. Homeless defined. Unaccompanied youth. McKinney Project rights. Student Residency Questionnaire, SRQ, enrollment. Qualification process. School of origin. Services. Transportation. Out-of-school suspension. Skyward. Campus contact responsibilities. Reminders. Homeless definition. Homeless children and youth. Sharing housing due to loss of housing or economic hardship, doubled up, living in emergency shelters or transitional shelters. Emergency CPS placements. Living in motels or hotels, due to economic hardship, living in a nighttime residence that is considered to be a public space not designated for human beings or substandard housing, cars, parks, abandoned buildings, etc. Individual who lacks fixed, regular, and adequate nighttime residence. Unaccompanied youth. Federal definition. The McKinney-Vento Act defines unaccompanied youth as a homeless child or youth not in the physical custody of a parent or guardian, 42 U.S.C. Section 11434A, 6. Taking a closer look at the definition, two conditions must be present for a child or youth to be considered an unaccompanied youth under the McKinney-Vento Act. 1. The child's or youth's living arrangement meets the Act's definition of homeless, and 2. The child or youth is not in the physical custody of a parent or guardian. Unaccompanied youth. Please make sure student completes SRQ. When giving UI and SRQ, please inform student that the parent, guardian will be contacted as part of the interview process to determine McKinney eligibility. Please do not inform the student if they will or will not qualify. Determination for eligibility is based on McKinney guidelines. The McKinney-Vento ACT. Key provisions of the law. Immediate school enrollment, regardless of missing paperwork, free lunch on date of enrollment. School of origin rights, transportation, referral services, dispute resolution. Student Residency Questionnaire, SRQ. Enrollment. Family or unaccompanied youth must complete the Student Residency Questionnaire, SRQ. They are not required to present identification. Proof of residence, including lives with hotel receipts, POA or guardianship paperwork, school records, social security card, shot records or birth certificate. Qualification process. Completed McKinney form must be faxed or emailed to the McKinney-Vento office. Phone or face-to-face interview is conducted by designated staff member. Qualification is based on family's current living situation. School of origin definition. School in which the child, youth was enrolled when they became homeless or the school in which the child, youth was last enrolled. School choice, if available and approved, and a student may be allowed to pick a district. However, the student's best interest will be considered and will be reviewed with the McKinney liaison. McKinney Project Services. Backpack and supplies. McKinney uniform, Project Services. Emergency clothing. Backpack and emergency supplies. Food. Uniform. Hygiene items. Emergency transportation. Clothing. Emergency click food. Link for more hygiene info. Items. Agency transportation. Referrals. Academic and campus support. Agency referrals. Please academic call your liaison immediately if the McKinney bus is late. Bus will not return for students. May a McKinney-Vento student be placed in out-of-school suspension? No. The Texas Education Code Section 37.005, D. prohibits out-of-school suspension of homeless students unless the student engages in certain behaviors defined by the Texas Education Code Section 37.005, C. 1, 3, while on school property or while attending a school-sponsored or school-related activity on or off school property. These behaviors include conduct that contains the elements of an offense related to weapons under Section 46.02 or 46.05, Penal Code. Conduct that contains the elements of a violent offense under Section 22.01, 22.011, 22.02, or 22.021, Penal Code, or selling, giving, or delivering to another person or possessing, using, or being under the influence of any amount of marijuana or a controlled substance, as defined by Chapter 481, Health and Safety Code, or by 21 U.S.C. Section 801 et seq. A dangerous drug, as defined by Chapter 483, Health and Safety Code, or an alcoholic beverage, as defined by Section 1.04, Alcoholic Beverage Code. Out-of-school suspension. Once a campus has determined the suspension, they are to contact the hearing officer and notify the McKinney office. Hearing officer will inquire on student's homeless status. Hearing officer will contact Stefan Lofton, assistant director Stigu at NEISD.net. Recommendation will be sent in writing to the hearing officer. Withdrawing. If the whereabouts of the student are unknown, a withdrawal may be done, based on the LEIS policy. While there is not a specific guideline for MV homeless and 10-day absences, LEIS should follow the guidance from the T Student Attendance Accounting Handbook, Section 3, 4.3. If an LEA chooses to withdraw, based on the 10 absences, all attempts at finding the student's location must be documented, and every full faith effort of locating the student must be made before withdrawing. The MKV liaison will make the final determination when withdrawing the student from the campus, district. Here is what the guidance stipulates. 3.4.3 Students whose whereabouts are unknown. Your district should decide the withdrawal date for a student who never officially withdrew from school, but whose whereabouts can no longer be determined, according to applicable local policies. For example, local policy may state that a student is withdrawn 10 days after he or she last attended if his or her whereabouts are unknown. Once withdrawn, a student in grades 7 through 12 must be reported as a school leaver on the 40,203 school leaver extension and could be considered a dropout according to Section 2 audit requirements of the TSDS PIEMS data standards. Skyward. Students who have qualified for McKinney Vento for the current school year will have the House Custom Code indicator in Skyward. Campus contact responsibilities. Posting. Homeless student rights are to be posted in public areas and staff is to be trained on identification and accommodations. Training campus staff, office staff, teachers, instructional support staff, within the first grading period of school. Keep record of sign-in for staff training video link. McKinney Vento roles and responsibilities 1-pager. Campus principals, please be sure to update your point of contact for the 2025-2026 school year. Recommended. Well-being, mental wellness counselor, secondary, counselor, elementary, compliance forms, surveys. Liaison campus assignments. Please take a moment to review the McKinney Vento family liaison contacts and office information. Reminders. Each case is different even if they seem similar. McKinney form must be completed and faxed over to conduct an interview. McKinney liaisons determine McKinney project qualification. McKinney project qualification is only for one academic school year. Be sure to have the latest SRQ, Student Residency Questionnaire. Family, student cannot enroll in any school they want. If the parent, guardian is refusing or resistant to providing an address, please call the office. Call our office if you have questions. Contact information. Stephanie Lofton, Assistant Director at Risk.